Welcome to Contemplative Living, where we view contemplations for the week to have a better understanding of our spiritual paths. This is Contemplative Living with Dave Bennett, contemplations and reflective meditations. Hello. Welcome to another Contemplative Living, where we talk about concepts to bring contemplative living into everyday life. All right. Well, excuse me. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, Deepak Chopra said, "I place my intention into the vast ocean of all possibilities and allow the universe to work through me." And that's a lot about what we're going to talk about. We're actually going to talk about destiny today. We're going to talk about destiny and free will. Those are the subjects. Okay. So, hi, Justin. Good morning. Glad you're here. All right. So, realize nothing has to be absolute. Destiny is variable. It's not fixed. And destiny and free will both exist as interwoven facets of life. Now, a lot of times, we talk about destiny. We want to leave something behind. We want, or we're looking for what's ahead of us. What's our destiny in life? Well, the interesting thing is, before we came into this life, we chose the main aspects of what this life was supposed to be, or what we wanted to accomplish in this life. And that is our destiny. But the interesting thing is we have free will. So how we get to accomplish our destiny or not accomplish our destiny, because that's our free will, is up to us. It's totally up to us to determine whether we're going to move forward or whether we're going to just sit in our path and just wait it out. But it's kind of interesting that they work together. They are part of a unit of predestiny that we chose before we came into this life. Like threads in a tapestry, destiny and free will interact with each other, blending to form the outcomes that are the events in your life. So, like threads in a tapestry, just think about that. Think of how a tapestry is woven together, okay? How it weaves together to become one, right? Well, before we came into this life, we chose to accomplish certain things. And then we came into this life, and we have this amazing phenomena that happens that's like amnesia, all right? We forgot everything that we had planned once we're in this physical body. But that's kind of the magic of it, though. It allows us then to move forward in our life, knowing that some of this, the universe has set up this predestiny for us, and that we, as we're walking along our path, we're going to have the opportunities to fulfill it. But again, those are our choices. Those are our choices. And so here we are living our lives, and then, we have this free will to go left or to go right. And that's kind of the magic, because again, we have this amnesia. We don't quite remember what's the purpose, what's our destiny. But we know when we move toward it, because we get that feeling, we get that sense of accomplishment when we do something that was laid out in our path before us. Your destiny is created by plans that you made at a soul level of consciousness to develop skills and virtues that you found most appealing. Again, that's that feeling. When we get that feeling within us that something has just, it's this rather expansive feeling, for me anyway. When I know that I've just touched on something that I've laid out in my life's path, then I get this expansiveness that I feel that's like, oh, wow, that really feels right. That feels like this is where I'm supposed to be. It's kind of like a universal pat on the back, an attaboy saying, okay, here you are, and you're accomplishing something important to you that you find appealing in your growth and in your overall many lives, with your higher intent, and that it comes into being in the physical. All right. I see Mary Beth is here. And Ken, I'm glad to see you're here today. Great. So, inner guidance is always available when we pay attention. Our intuition and inspiration are our links. So when do we feel that expansiveness? When does that become a part of our life? It's when we touch on that inner guidance. And inner guidance is available all the time. It's always with us. And many times the key to recognizing it is when we're using our creativity and we get that flash of inspiration. Well, where do you think that comes from? That is spirit communication. That is our inner guidance. That is our higher consciousness communicating with us. And those moments of inspiration are not to be taken lightly. Those are seeds to help us in our path to work toward that greater destiny. And when we pay attention to that, using inspiration, a lot of times then that helps us to recognize the intuitive, small, quiet voice that speaks to us and is available to us all the time. Destiny is an inner sense of preference that constantly seeks the best route to unfold into manifestation. So, think about it this way. When we set this up in life, when we set ourselves up in this life, and we laid out a path, and then we come into this life, and we have this sense of amnesia that what the heck is going on? But we have this sense of knowing what's right. We all know what's right for each and every one of us. We all have that sense. It's a part of being human. We have an inner knowing that's connected to our higher consciousness. And so, walking down that path toward our destiny, we have that inner sense of preference. We know what we prefer. And that helps us to put when we come to a branch in the road, or we come to a doorway, it helps us knowing, to have that knowing, to be able to follow the best route that's going to unfold in our life into the destiny, and it's going to become manifest within our life. So, discover the powerful healing of knowing that you not only planned your life, but you're also empowered to change it. So, we know that we laid this path out, but again, we tend to forget about our free will. That free will exists within us. If we decide that there's a greater purpose that's evolving and that we can contribute into the greater sense of it all, then we have the free will and we can be empowered when using our higher consciousness to realize that, our intention, we cast this new intention from our free will into that vast ocean of all possibilities. And we allow the universe to tweak our path and to make adjustments to help us to move forward. The funny thing is we won't know in this lifetime when we make these when we make these course changes and we make these shifts to move in a totally new direction in our life. We really won't know until we pass over to the other side, or we have an experience like a near-death experience or something like that, where we actually can examine it from the other side, from that freedom of this physical confinement that we find ourselves in this life. Was that really our free will shifting us in a new direction, or was it possibly the destiny that we had already set out? So these are the questions that I give you this week to ponder. And I hope that you enjoy your week and contemplate on destiny. Contemplate on what is your destiny? What is your higher purpose? And I invite you to connect to your greater sense of being. So Cindy, hey, is the preference the same as an ideal? Excellent question. We have an inner knowing, are the preferences. But in life, a lot of times we set an ideal. An ideal is our guiding star. Okay? We set an ideal like we would, setting a course bearing. We want to go in this direction. And a lot of times we don't reach the final destination with an ideal, but it's a guiding principle. And along the way, we understand the preferences that we have to go in that direction. We get these inner knowings that, okay, I need to, in order to get to the final destination, I may need to zig a little left or zig a little right, and the preferences will tell us which way to go. All right? So that's a little bit, they're very, very closely related, but they help us to reach that final destination, that higher ideal that we want to set in place. So thank you for being here this morning. I hope you have a blessed week, and namaste.